Okay, the kids are going to come over in just a minute. They are going to talk about the week. They're going to show some of the things they've done. They're going to sing a couple more songs. But before we do so, I want to set just a little bit of the groundwork, especially for those of you who have not seen very much of what we've done this week. That it's a joy to be able to welcome you in, whether you are a regular member of the parish family here or you have come through VBS, to be able to look at the set, to walk down the hallway and see some of the beautiful decorations there as well. That this is the culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. They do so very specifically to bless children, to give them a place that's safe, that's good, that is fun, and that's exciting. A place where they can tell that they are cared for and that they are loved, and a place where we are pointing to the eternal truth that Jesus rescues. Jesus rescues you in a shipwreck. Jesus rescues you in your life. Jesus rescues you when you are young, when you are old. Jesus rescues you in hard times and in good. The readings that we have from Scripture, for those of you who are not familiar with, kind of a traditional lectionary, these are chosen well in advance. Generations upon generations ago, we get these readings, Old Testament, New Testament, Gospel, and it just so happens that on the same Sunday, where we're welcoming these kids back and their families so that they can show how God has been honored and they have been blessed all week long, we get a story about David and Goliath, about the faithfulness of the young person. When all the adults were too scared to do anything, it takes the little shepherd boy saying, "He doesn't look so big to me. He's certainly no bigger than my God. God has saved me from many troubles, and He's going to save me from this one." What more clear example of Jesus rescuing us in the time of trouble, small and large, old and young, than David and Goliath? To hear then, as Paul writes to the Corinthians, that this is an opportunity to open your hearts. Open your hearts to the gospel of Jesus. Open your hearts to fellow Christians who are looking to invest in you and draw you closer to the Lord. And then to be reminded in the gospel that this Jesus who rescues us, He is the master of the wind and the wave. Even the natural order responds to its creator and to its Lord. The disciples are terrified being out there in a boat when the storm rolls in. And maybe they're about to be shipwrecked like we've been all week long. And Jesus is doing what I would desperately like to do right now, taking a nap. He's not worried a bit. Why? Because He likes storms? Because He wants the boat to sink? No. But there is a sense of peace and calm, knowing that regardless of what storms may come, and they will, even in lives as young as your kids, they've seen a couple of storms. And now they can look in your life, and they can see, well, Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa and everybody, well, they've seen a couple of storms too. How have we gotten through this far? Through the mercy of God. Through the power of God. As the storms blow and the rain comes down and the lightning crashes over us, we are here even today because the one who is the master of wind and wave has said, "Peace and be still." Peace and be still sometimes to the storms, and they've calmed down and they've gone away. Peace and be still sometimes just within us. The storm continues to storm, but we are frightened no longer because He has promised to be with us and lead us through safely to the other side. These are the things that we have wanted the kids to see and to know all week long. That there's a Lord that they can trust in. There is a Lord they can count on and depend upon. There is a Lord who knows that the storms come in life, and occasionally we even feel like we are shipwrecked and alone. But we never are truly alone. For the Lord is with us in the best times and in the worst, in the easiest and in the hardest, when we are old, when we are young, all day every day, all of those times in between. For the Lord of the wind and the waves, Jesus rescues now and always. Kids, come on forward. I think you've got some stuff to share.
First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who let your kids come here this week, because it was a joy to be able to teach them and play with them and get to know them. I love them all very much. I also want to say thank you to my congregation, because it takes all of us to do this, to cut stuff out, to come to the spaghetti dinners, to pay for this stuff. And this place is awesome, and God's love is here all the time. So, let's start.
Ready? Here we go, guys.
On day one, our Bible study was home. On day one, our Bible study was home. Our Bible point was when you're lonely.
Jesus rescues!
Our Bible verse was the Lord will hold me close from Psalms 117. Our craft was life preserver.
Who's got the life preserver? Okay, show 'em.
And we made the compass out of coconut.
Who's got the compass? There you go. Very good. Okay. Day two.
On day two, our Bible level was beacon. Our Bible point was when you worry.
Jesus rescues!
And our Bible verse was the Lord comes and rescues each time, from Psalms 34:19. Our craft was a pear.
Who's got the parrot?
And then in the
Imagination station.
imagination station, we made play boats and saw how many pegs we could put in it before the boat sank.
Who's got day three?
In day 3, our Bible buddy was red. Our Bible point was when you struggle.
Jesus rescues!
Our Bible verse was be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Our craft was a turtle. And in the imagination station, we made kinetic slides.
Day 4, our Bible buddy was walk. Our Bible point, when you do wrong,
Jesus rescues!
our Bible verse, here on earth you will have many trials and sufferings, but take heart because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Our craft was a jellyfish. In imagination station, we made a telescope.
Day 5. Our Bible
is the power. This is the power mighty. This is the mighty power that rose Christ from the dead. Ephesians 1:19-20. Our craft we made was a fish. And then we walked on water.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna sing 3 more songs for you guys. Ready?
There's no space that His love can't reach. There's no place where we can't find peace. There's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I'm holding on. I am.
really me. Now, of all of the special guests that we had who came to give the Bible story, I told them I just couldn't find a hula dancer at this time of the summer anywhere. So, I was willing to take one for the team. And during one of our Bible stories, I was telling the kids that hula actually tells a story, that all of the movements are symbolic and they mean something. And I'm not a real hula dancer, so I had no idea what the movements meant. I mean, I'm pretty sure this one was like the ocean or the waves, and that kind of makes sense. But we get beyond that, and I said, look kids, I think we're just going to have to make some up. So as we think about the wind and the waves, as we think about the storms of life, that we can always remember that Jesus rescues us. Jesus rescues. And that can happen when you're very small as a shrimp. That can happen when you're very strong, as powerful as Aquaman. That can happen in the stories of the Bible, in the lives of your kids, and in your life too. We can be silly. We can spread sand. We can swim in cornstarch. But we do so for a very specific purpose. That in some way, somehow, whether it's very small or very profound, that these kids learn just a little about God. And that as they learn about God, they would know Him more. And as they know Him more, they will trust Him more. And as they trust Him more, they will love Him more. But you can count on Him. You can depend on Him. Whether you feel alone on a deserted island, whether you feel like your ship is breaking on the rocks, Whether you feel like the storms of life might blow you away, or maybe you're just thankful and grateful for all of His goodness, all of His mercy, and all of His care. That's the hope. That we've invested this time and our love within them, and maybe even within you. And that you would know something more about the Lord through this week and because of today. Because the more you learn about